Hey guys, GK here, and somebody asked me how did I get involved in real estate. I just got out of the gym. Let me tell you guys how I got involved. In 2008, the economy took a tank, and I went back to college. And when I got out of college, graduated with a degree, decided that I didn't want to work for anybody else. I was working for my mom at the time. I had my own landscape company. I was about 5 weeks behind on getting paid from my mom. So I started a network marketing business, and when I started the network marketing business, I did really, really well. In my first full year, I made six figures. I actually have the bank statements in my laptop bag. I hold them in there so I can remind myself the first time I ever made six figures, what it felt like. And actually, if anybody doesn't believe me, I have the proof. So, but not that I have to prove myself, but it's there, okay? Which I like to prove people wrong. So, what I did was in 2012, halfway through the year, I did not have the tax returns back for 2012, which were really good. 2011 was mediocre. So what I did was I had to buy a condo that I was looking at. It sold for 350 the year before. It was selling for 80K. Luckily, I had cash. I was able to get it and close in a week and a half. The guy was selling it for I think 80. Somebody offered 80. And I offered 78, and he laughed at me and said, why would I sell it to you when this guy offered me 80? I said, well, ask him when he's closing. He said, well, he's closing in like 90 days. I said, well, I'll close in 7 days. And so I got the condo, rented it out. Then I went to the bank. And so in 2012, I got my tax returns. I had really good tax returns. So in 2013, I go into the bank and I say, look, I want to get a line of credit. I want to put a line of credit on this condo. They look at my tax returns, look at my credit score. My credit score was great because of network marketing. I was able to pay all my bills on time. Keep in mind, I kept my job for the first 14 months. I didn't quit my job when I got network marketing. It was a supplemental income, but that let me use all my bonus money and my passive residual income from the network marketing to put in the bank and get this line of credit after I bought the condo. And I just used my job money to pay my bills. That's a smart way to do it. So they gave me a line of credit, and what I did was on December 31st, 2013, the last day of the year, I bought five apartments. I did a blanket loan, actually a duplex and three singles. I used part of the line of credit for the down money, the 20%. And I love this because with banking, you have an instant relationship. As soon as you buy a home with them, they give you 80% of the money. You put in 20, and you get immediately on. Well, let's say I buy a property for 100,000. You put in 20, they put in 80, but you get $100,000 value on the cash flow, depreciation, equity, tax breaks, all that. It's awesome. Stock market's not going to do that. You can't give T. Rowe Price or whoever, Scott Trade, 20 and they give you 100. They're not even going to let you borrow money for stock. So that's the part I love about real estate. I can get an asset for $1 million by just putting in $200,000. So I get those properties, and now what I do is I have a little bit money left over in that line of credit, and then I do another blanket loan in 2014 on three properties in a totally different county. I created two LLCs for protection, also for structuring if I ever have employees in the future, asset protection on liabilities. If somebody sues my one LLC, they can't take money from the other one. And it also keeps me out of it. They're separate entities. So I like that idea. Also, most traditional banks, once you own 10 properties in your own name, they won't give you any more loans. And most traditional banks, once you own 4 properties, on the fifth one, if you want to cash out, if you want to refi it because you have equity in it, they won't let you cash out. So I said, you know what, let me just go commercial from the beginning and let me go that way. Now, the first one, the condo, I put in my name because I didn't actually own a house. My original home in 2008, I rented it out and moved in with my mom because the economy was so bad. That's my first taste of residual income. I liked it. I made a couple $100 a month, but how would you buy more real estate when you have a job or you own a small business? There's no money left over, and there's just no way I could have done it. So I kind of put that idea on hold, and when I got into network marketing, my goal was to use that money to get into real estate. So here we are now. I do a blanket loan in 2014. Now I'm up to 6, 7, 10 tenants already, okay? And a couple months later, it was my first time ever buying a home that it was owner occupied. They were moving to another state. A little bit nervous because it was the first time I'd have no tenants in it. What I found with that experience was it's very easy to get tenants, but it was a little more costly because it was empty. And when it's empty, there's a lot more things you have to repair if you're meticulous like me, or when somebody's already living in it, you give them a little wish list when you take over and they go, well, I just have 3 things that bother me. But when you go and it's empty, you see a lot of things that bother you. So, but it worked out. Okay, I do half Section 8 and half regular non-Section 8 payments from tenants. Everybody has their own opinion. Listen, I like Section 8. Anybody can ruin your place. It can be somebody in Section 8. It can be somebody not in Section 8, okay? But it's guaranteed money. And they come out every year and they inspect. And yes, they find something wrong every single year. If you don't like that, then you're in the wrong business. I have right now, I just failed. 5 violations. So stupid ones, though. Railings loose. There's mildew or something or on the caulking in the bathroom. one of the light fixture caps is broke, screen is ripped in the window, and the door handle is broken. Well, guess what? I want those things fixed, okay? And so you go your own route there. I won't get into that, but the point is there's tenants everywhere, okay, that are looking for a place. And right now, with the way the economy is, it's a renter's market. So now, guys, I'm at 10, and then later the one that was homeowner occupied becomes 11. Okay, now we go into 2015. Now the good news is I have a great credit score every year. I'm paying all my bills on time. My income is still increasing or staying around the same, but it's still a great income. And in 2015, I purchased my 11th property. Basically, there's a guy over here. I can't believe he's just peeing on the tree. Hold on a second. Can you guys see that? Can you see him? There, he's peeing. He is peeing on the tree. Look at that. So wait till he shakes it off a little bit. There he goes. All right, he's done, and put his pants back up, and he's done. Okay. So I just want to let you guys know that that guy right there was peeing on the tree. So with that being said, oh my God. So with that being said, guys, 11 properties now. So now at this point, I'm using my bonus money, right, from my network marketing company. I'm thinking, how can I move faster? How can I not have to wait until I get my bonus money and have that add up? So what I do now is I start applying for lines of credit, more lines of credit, one on my network marketing business, one on my personal income. I found a lot of banks that would give me unsecured lines of credit, meaning I didn't have to, like, put my own house on the line, because that's one thing I don't recommend ever doing. Don't take a second mortgage on your home. Don't risk your own family's castle to make a profit. That's dangerous, okay? If you can't do it, you can't do it yet. So I got a couple lines of credit, and now in 2015, I buy a house with my line of credit. I think I put like $15,000, $20,000 down, and I paid the line of credit back. Now I had the money. I could have used my bonus money, but I said, let me try the line of credit. Let me get a better relationship with the bank. Let me use their money. Let them see that I can pay it back. And this way I have cash in the bank if I need it. And now that took me to, I think that was like 12. And then in 2015 late, I bought my first complete line of credit home, meaning I use a line of credit for the whole thing. Reason being, it was on the market, great deal, and basically she was selling it for a good price. I wanted to get it off the market, so I paid for it cash because I knew that if I went through the bank, it would take long. So what I did was I asked my bank, I said, look, I'm gonna buy this place cash for $40K. Will you give me a mortgage on it? He goes, yes, we'll give you a mortgage in 30 days, but only for 75% of what you paid or what it appraises for, no more. And I was like, okay. Or yeah, something like that. So I said, okay, fine. So that means if I gave her 40 and they're going to give me 25% of the value, 75% of the value, that means they're going to give me like 30K back. You know what? Great. So basically they gave me a mortgage on it. I paid back most of the line of credit. I still owed a little bit. I pay a little bit extra every month. But here's the key, guys. To this day, it's really hot in here. To this day, I still have to pay on that original line of credit on the condo, okay? I haven't paid it off. And the reason why I haven't paid it off is, one, why pay it off? Why pay off? I think I owe like 60K. Why pay 60K off when I can use that 60K of payments to create more velocity and buy more properties, and then that more property will give me more cash flow, and that more cash flow in 5 or 10 years. That loan's still good for 14 years. That line of credit's good for like 13 more years. I could pay it back later. Okay, so I'm only paying a small interest-only fee on that line of credit. The numbers make sense. Even the line of credit that I still owe on the $40,000 house, it's so small that even after the mortgage is paid on that and the line of credit, that I'm still in the black. And then in 2016, I bought a duplex and another single home in a totally different town that I've never been into. It's still in the area of my homes. And on those, I use lines of credit. And every month I pay a little bit extra. I pay principal and interest on those. I didn't want to just have interest on them. I don't want to end up, in 10 years just having only paid interest on all my lines of credit. But at the end of the day, it's all about the numbers make sense. So here I am now with 16 tenants, 16 properties, and my goal is to hit 20 and then look at some laundromats and maybe some self-storage units, or maybe even possibly get something that's like 40 units with a business partner at this point. I might even sell my places in a few years and maybe do a 3501, I think it's called, where I can move all that money over to another property without having to pay taxes, as long as I do within a 90-day period. Or maybe I keep them, and maybe in 15 years from now when they're paid off, I refi them all. Let's say they're worth $2 million. The bank will give me 80% loan to value. That means they'll give me $1.6 million. Cash free, tax free. There's no tax on refis. Now I have $1.6 million in the bank, tax free to live off of. And now the tenants are going to pay them back down again for 20 years. Maybe at that point I put them in an irrevocable trust and give them to my family. And they own all the properties, and rather than I owning them, but I still have my $1.6 million. So You know, guys, there's many ways to do it, but that's how I did it. I started out with $300, bought myself a network marketing business, hustled, and was patient. Instead of driving a Maserati right now, which I definitely could, I'm driving a Lexus. Why? Because rather than owning a $500,000 house, I own a $250,000 house. It's modest. Why? Because I'd rather own 17 homes than one big one. I'd rather have a Lexus right now and own 16 additional homes and be able to buy more than have some crazy car that's sucking up all my money, okay? I did that for 2 years. I had a $3,000 a month car payment for 2 years. Oh my God, it was crazy. That makes me insane when I think about it, okay? $3,000 a month in car payments. When I first started network marketing, I just went crazy and got a crazy car. And once I started buying real estate, I thought to myself, this is crazy. This car is still more than 6 of my home, my mortgages. And that's done. Those days are over now. Now I realize, you know what? Buy assets, let my assets buy my toys. And I hope this helps. If you have decent credit, you got some decent tax returns, guys, read some real estate books. I read a couple real estate books that really helped. Go to some seminars. I even go to the ones where they try to convince you to spend all this money to go to a 3-day seminar. I go to the free ones. I learn a little bit for free at each one. Network a little bit with some people that have success. And I just go all in. I go all in. You know, my banker told me don't buy more than one. It's risky. My buddy told me that they're going to ruin my places. It's going to happen. You know what, guys? Yes, I've had a couple places got a little bit ruined. And, you know, I never had to do an insurance claim yet, but that's why I have insurance for. It's always worked out. Okay, they've paid for the damages. I had bed bugs at one place. That got fixed. I have to do an eviction sooner or later. That's going to happen. It's bound to happen. But, you know, I'd rather do that than work in the heat 60 hours a week cutting grass. If I have to have 5 phone calls a week from tenants and that's all I got to do to make $60K a year net on the properties that I have now, then you know what? It's pretty good. It's pretty good, okay? And it's on my own time. So, and there's, again, equity and all kinds of things are building at that same time. So guys, hope this helps. That was my story. That's probably a boring story, but you know what? If you listen to this whole thing, you're really interested in real estate.